Hello, this is Mandisa Johnson with AtlantaFilmandTV.com. Should you reach out to a publication or a media outlet for an interview? Everyone has their opinion in regards to this. No, I'm not saying to never reach out to a publication or media outlet for an interview. An interview, however, can expose you to a different audience that you may not have never reached. But before you do reach out to a media outlet, consider these instances and tips. A few weeks ago, I literally had to tell someone to stop sending me multiple messages of their content via my Instagram direct messages. I get it. The sender can see when the messages they sent was seen by the receiver. But if a publication or media outlet doesn't respond back to you in a timely manner, according to your terms, do not spam them with the same message with your content more than once. Sometimes the person on the receiving end may not be able to respond back to your messages right away. Or plain and simple, they just might not be interested in your content or may not want to interview you for that matter. And that's okay, because there's no rule that states that we, Atlanta Film and TV, or anyone else for that matter, has to. What is spam? Well, I'm glad you asked. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, spam is defined as unsolicited, usually commercial messages such as emails, text messages, or internet postings, sent to a large number of recipients or posted in a large number of places. Here are a few tips. Tip number 1. If you ever want someone, be it an industry professional, to review any of your content, as I mentioned before in a previous video, always introduce yourself first and state what it is you do. Lastly, be sure that you are one of their followers and subscribe to their content. Tip number 2. Don't be desperate for an interview. Allow publications and media outlets to want to interview you. Also be sure that what you are presenting fits within the parameters of those whom they have previously interviewed. For example, Atlanta Film and TV interviews adults and children who are movers and shakers in the film and TV industry. For example, I've had people reach out to me not only via DM, but also on my website, or they'll send emails requesting us to interview them. But when we ask them specific questions and state that we will review their content and get back to them, I don't ever receive their content or a follow-up email as to what their contribution in the film and TV industry is. Tip number 3, never ever harass when reaching out. I'm not saying that it's not okay to reach out to a publication or a media outlet. That's how you make connections, if done right. For instance, a few months ago, someone reached out to Atlanta Film and TV requesting an interview. We read through their email and looked at some of their content, but it wasn't something that not only didn't fit the parameters of those that we interviewed, we just weren't interested. So we emailed them back and told them just that. About a month later, I received an email from the same person who had the audacity to search out my personal email address that I barely used and begged us to interview them. To this day, I don't know how they found that email address, but luckily I was using this particular email address for something else, and just a few days before added it on my phone and saw when the email came through. I say all this to say that it is not okay, as this is a form of harassment, because we already stated that we were not interested in interviewing them, and as I stated before, there is no rule that says we have to conduct any interview. For more tips, be sure to subscribe to AtlantaFilmandTV.com.